Business rule. It's a server-side script that runs when a record is displayed, inserted, updated, or deleted, or when a table is queried. Exactly what you have as triggers, right? Use business rules to accomplish tasks like automatically changing values in form fields when certain conditions are met, or to create events for email notifications and script actions, right?
Right.
Business rules can make use of scripts to take actions on records and database. However, there are several other scripting options available on the ServiceNow platform, such as client script. We just use client script, right?
Right.
And UI actions. See difference among all the scripts to understand which script option is best for your actions you want to take, right? That's a help there. Now, business rules are of four types. Options we have is before, after, async, and display, right?
Yeah.
Before, after the user submits the form, but before any action is taken on the record in the database. So this is if you select the before type of business rule, so when user submits the form, but before any action is taken on the record level, this business rule will be executed. You get that? User submits
Yeah.
this incident form. Let's assume that I am on incident form. So I'm going to submit this incident form. So as soon as I submitted this incident form, but before this record has been inserted into the incident table, this business rule will run, the before business rule, right? After after the user submits the form and after any action is taken on the record in the database, meaning if the if user submits this form, right, this business rule, the after business rule will not get executed until the record is inserted into the table, right? So it's slightly different. Before and after is slightly different. So it's just I'm sure you understand that it's just the database triggers that we
Yeah, it's
have,
just like a trigger.
right?
Yeah.
Async, when the scheduler runs the schedule job created from the business rule, the system creates a schedule jobs for the business rules after the user submits the form and after any action is taken on the record in the database, right? So async will be seeing, and then we have display. Before the form is presented to the user, just after the data is read from the database. When you query the database, you will get display, right? Now, when we are into business rules here, to create a new business rule, I'll have to hit new. When I hit this, I open this business rule. The business rule has to be attached to a table, right?
Okay. Like a trigger too. Yeah.
Right. So, let's get a sample business rule from here. Or we might be having business rules written in my instance. Business rules. So I'm going here. Right. So this is a business rule that I have, and this is from the marketing event application. Let's go and discuss this. I'm going to select marketing events application here. And this is update attendee count business rule. So, and this is applied on the attendee table. So basically, this business rule will update the attendee count, and the action that it performs is to, hang on, the action that it performs is to update the marketing table,
Mm.
right? Okay. All right. So this is what is happening when in the marketing event application that we have. You do not have the attendees module here. Well, I have the attendees module, so I'll show you.
Okay.
So you have this attendees module.
Mm.
When you add an attendee to the list, right? Right
Yeah.
now you have 16 members. When you add an attendee to the list, your marketing event application should show that the number of attendees in the list has been incremented to 17. So this is what it is doing, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So for that, we have created a business rule on attendee table, right? And the when to run is, so there is a condition when this business rule should be running. So this business rule should be running on insert, update, delete, and query. All the operations, all the CRUD
Mm.
operations. And this happens after a record has been inserted into or a record has been altered into the attendee table, right? So this is the condition.
Mm.
This runs on all database operations after the operation has been done on the record into this table, right?
Mm.
And what is the action that it is going to take? There is no action, general action as such. The action is there in the script, right?
Mm.
And within the script, what you are doing is you are making a glide record call to the marketing event application, right? And you are getting the current marketing event. Current
Mm.
marketing event meaning from the form you are altering the record that you are altering. It will get the current marketing event ID from there, and then it will check if the number of attendees registered equals undefined. It will set it will put the number of attendees registered equals 1, else it will just increment to 1, increment by
Mm.
1, right? And then it
Yeah.
will update it and it will add a message and you know but that's it. It will add a message and that's it. So this is what this
Mm.
business rule is doing, right? The condition is it runs on the attendee table. When you add any attendee, this is what happens. Let's do this. I'm going to add here Michael. Let's go ahead and see
Mm.
for Hyderabad Road Show. I'm going to marketing event application.
Mm.
See for Hyderabad Road Show I have how many? I have 26 registered no, attendees and
Yeah.
25 expected attendees, right?
Mm-hmm.
going to select Hyderabad Roadshow from here. And I'm going to submit it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what we are actually doing here is we are adding one attendee to the Hyderabad Roadshow, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so theoretically, what should happen is since we are adding one more person to the Hyderabad Roadshow marketing event, the number of attendees registered should be incremented by one, isn't it?
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah. 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 It is.
Because for Hyderabad
So.
Roadshow, right now we have 26 registered attendees, right? But when we add one more attendee using the attendee form, right, it should be incremented by one. Let's see if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to submit this.
Mm-hmm.
When I submitted this, I can see these messages. These messages are part of the business rules that we have written, right? Now let's go
Mm-hmm.
back to the marketing form and I'm going to refresh the list here and I'll scroll to the right. This is the record. And you may see that the count has changed
Mm-hmm.
to 27. You
Mm-hmm.
see that?
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. 27.
Earlier it was 26, but now it has
26.
changed to 27,
Mm.
right? So,
Yep.
and this is not a manual entry that we have done on the marketing event form, right? We did entry on the attendee form, attendee table, and the entry, the change that we have done on the attendee table has been propagated to the marketing events table,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Mm. Yeah. The change is cascaded into there. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So this is what triggers do, right? And this is what it
Exactly.
is doing. This is a trigger, right? We change some values on the attendees form and it changed it on the marketing events form. That's why it's a trigger.
Mm. Mm.
All right. Let's
Yeah. Yeah.
let's revisit the code one more time. So I'll go into the business rules and open it. Advanced. I'm going to copy this and open up here and I'll get rid of all the unnecessary lines and then we will explain what is happening.
Mm.
These are just messages. Alright. So
Right.
this is the piece of code that is doing the magic for us. Right? This is inserting
Mm.
data into marketing events table. Right? See, inserting or updating. So this is updating data into the marketing events table. And you know
Mm.
that to update data into the table, we use glide record update. So this is what is happening. Glide record update. This
Yeah.
is update set whatever number 27. So this
Mm.
is the script that is happening here. You get the value this value 27 by doing these conditional checks, right?
Mm.
So this is when you do gr.update. So this is the query that you are doing. Update
Mm.
this table set number of attendees registered equals 27, and the 27 is received by this block of code, right? And
Mm.
before that, even before that, what you did is you made glide record entry of this table, right? And you are getting the current record from the for that marketing event. because this business rule is getting executed from the attendees table, and on the attendees table you are selecting a marketing event. See, you are selecting a marketing event, right? So whatever marketing event you are selecting, it will get the name of that marketing event by using this line. See, it is doing gr.get. Get name of marketing event selected on the form, right? And we
Yeah.
forgot to put the where clause, where marketing event equals, in our case it was Hyderabad Roadshow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it the query that we should be writing for updating this kind of record,
Yeah.
right? So this is what is happening
Right.
actually. A date
Yeah. Same.
table
Yeah.
set number of attendees equals 27 where marketing event
And
equals
then
Hyderabad,
predicating. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Now for
Exactly.
that you did a glide record on the marketing table, you got the current marketing record, and then you checked if the GR dot number of attendees registered, meaning equals undefined, meaning if there are any attendees registered to that event or not. For example, if I go into the marketing events and I go and create one marketing event here, let's say I'm going to create Freetown marketing event one, right? Some unique
Yeah.
name, right? Let's give it some unique name.
Mm.
I hope this is not mandatory. Oh, Freetown partners. If I submit this, okay, okay. Now I was able to submit this. Now see, right now for the Freetown marketing event one, the first entry, we do not have a number of attendees expected. We do not have number of attendees registered, right?
Yeah.
Both are blank. Now if I go to attendees and I add one attendee to the list, and first of all I select the Freetown marketing event here, right?
Mm.
I want to add this attendee. Let's say I'm going to add myself to this marketing event, right? So this piece of code that we have here, so when it gets executed, it will check if gr.number of attendees registered equals undefined. Yes, in this case, we didn't have any number of attendees registered for Freetown marketing event 1. So in this case, it will simply go ahead and put the number of attendees registered equals 1.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
see that? Now
Yep.
if I go here, open the attendees form, and no, not attendees. If I go to the marketing event, this is Freetown marketing event 1, the first entry. If I scroll a bit, I can see one entry here. You see that?
Yep.
So this is the piece of code. It is doing, it is checking if the number of attendees registered are undefined, increment it by one. If the number of attendees are there is some value, then it just increments the value by one, right?
Yep.
I'm going to put this code in an email to you so you can try
Okay.
it. For that, you must have the attendee table created,
Mm.
right?
Okay. I'll create that.
Yeah, you must have that attendee module, and when you use this script, change the table name, please. The table name in your case could be slightly different than mine, right? So use the
Okay.
appropriate table name,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
Otherwise, it will throw errors. Create
Mm.
the attendee table where you want to put this business rule, and then change this table name, put the appropriate
Mm.
table name of the marketing events, and then execute it by adding some attendees into the attendee table. You will be able to verify that, right?
Okay.
So
Yep.
this is one simple business rule that we just saw. Let me see if we can have some more examples. If you do not want to put scripted actions, you can
Mm.
put your out of the box default actions there.
Oh.
See in the actions here, right? If we do not do advanced action, we get just the two tabs, when to run and actions, right?
Mm.
And you can do add message, you can put a message, or you can abort an action, right?
Mm.
Let's do this very simple business rule. Let's put it on the incident table. Incident table, and we are going to put it on insert and update both. Let's put it on update just on update, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to show a message, just one message.
Mm.
Let's go to insert. We have to do update. Going to do update, and I can see the message coming up here,
Mm. Mm.
right? So this is a business rule. This is showing a message, but this is not doing anything on the database. No record is being changed here. Just putting a message from the business rule side.
Mm.
This is
Oh
a,
yeah. Okay.
this message you saw. He just updated the record.
Yeah. 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 I see that. Yeah.
Right. Now let's do some more. I'm going to put a condition here.
Mm.
This update will run uh, when only on those records where active is false, right?
Mm.
This business rule will run only on those records where active equals false, and the action is I'm going to set active to true,
Mm.
right? So whenever this business rule runs, if it is if it is incident where active equals false, it will change the active status and show the message and done. And on this is just a update trigger, right? So it will work
Mm-hmm.
only when you update a record into the table, right? So let's filter out
Right.
some of the records where active equals false, because these are the qualifying incidents that will be used for us. Now this is an incident that has been closed.
Mm.
For this, the active status has changed to false. We don't have that field here on the form, but we know that this is a change. This is an incident where active equals false. Okay.
Right.
Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to copy this incident. I'm going to put the incident number here just for the record. Now I'm going to update it. When I
Mm.
update this, something must have happened.
Right.
Let's go back. It didn't do anything. INC0010130. All right, let's change it a little bit. So I'm going to do a small change to the script, and here set values. I'm going to do state to let's do awaiting review,
Mm.
and I'm going to save this. Go into the incident. State is closed.
Mm.
The incident is closed. I'm going to update it. Nothing happened on this. Should happen. All right. See,
Mm. Mm.
now this record has been updated. So it was okay. We just saw the definition of the trigger types, and there was one before trigger, one after
Yeah.
trigger, async trigger, and
Mm-hmm.
the fourth one was, I don't know what, I forgot the name. The select trigger, right?
Right.
So the name of the trigger was, let me see, display trigger. Right.
Yeah. Display
Now
trigger.
see what is happening here. Let's choose this incident 10027, right?
Right.
If I just go into the table in the form and I update it without changing any values. If we are not changing any value here, right? So the update statement, the table is not, the record is not getting updated at all, right? Because there is nothing to update,
Mm.
right? So there is nothing to update here.
Gotcha.
I'm just hitting update, but there is nothing to update. It's not getting updated, so the trigger is not firing. But if I
Mm.
go here and change some value, for example, the contact type from phone to email, and I updated, this trigger just fired. It says, hey,
Yeah.
just updated the record, and it changed the value of the state from close to awaiting review, right? As we mentioned
Right.
into the business rule. See that?
Mm-hmm.
In the
That's
business
true.
rule, which is a show message business rule, and you will see that this is a before trigger.
The before trigger, yeah.
Just saw that. Where is that? See, when to run is before trigger. So this is a before trigger, right? So before trigger, by definition, after the user submits the form, but before any action is taken on the record in the database, right? So in our case,
Mm-hmm.
when we are not updating any value on the table, the trigger is not getting executed, and that's right? Because it says before any action is taken on the record in the database, right? If we are not
Mm-hmm.
updating any field on the incident form, any action is not getting taken on that record. And if any action is not getting taken on that record, the trigger is actually not happening, right? It is not getting executed because there is no action done on the record, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right? So that's why in that case it is not running at all. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if we change any value on the trigger, it changes. Gets executed, right?
That's true.
So this is a sample example of a trigger where we do not have to script, right? We are
Mm-hmm.
not scripting anything. It's a simple trigger that we are doing. It is just
Yeah.
checking the condition, right? And on update of the record, it is doing
Then it
this,
is there.
right? It is posting this message, and this is changing the value of the state field to awaiting review,
To awaiting review. Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is another type of trigger that we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
You can create so many permutations and combinations for triggers, and you can try all of those,
Based on the need, right?
right, based upon the needs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So try doing that. This is very helpful. The trigger will be used very much when you start scripting. You will use it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially from the data validation perspective as well. So whenever you insert a data into a table and you want to cascade that data into related table, then you have to use
Right.
this business rule, right?
That's, yeah.
So try doing that as well, along with the script that I just said,
Yeah, I
right?
will. I
So,
will.
and then I'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll try
Sure.
to do jelly a bit tomorrow, and
Okay.
then we will do integration, ServiceNow web services, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
All right.
let's
Thank
talk.
you, Rahul.
Yeah, let's talk
Have a good.
tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, Michael. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.